What's up to all you marks out there, and welcome back to another exciting episode from the Exposed Turnbuckle. You know me as Patrick, and to my... Oh, I'm alone. I will be cutting the Raw review dolo. Hopefully, Jay, my co-host, as some of you may know, I recently moved up to the city, and I got a second shift job, which makes it super hard to do reviews. Personally, I work long hours. I was working 5 at night till 3:30 in the morning. Came home, caught the Raw, and first off, I don't know why you guys are bitching so much. All right, I thought that this was probably one of the more exciting, event-filled Raw episodes in a while. So I really don't understand why you guys are hating on it so much. I mean, so much stuff happened. So first we open up with a Roman promo. He announced that he had a announcement for us this week. Everyone on the Twitter, one of my friends, Mike Bobbitt, shout out to you, but you're wrong. He was saying that The Undertaker was going to come back and it was going to be Undertaker versus Roman 2. 1, why? 2, nobody benefits out of it. Undertaker wins, now what? Roman wins, now what? You're just gonna shit on The Undertaker again? That was just a ludicrous rumor that I never really truly invested in. So Roman comes out pacing around his yard, and his hatred is kind of dying down a little bit. I don't know whether they're getting better with the sound quality or sound control rather, of the crowd, but it didn't really seem like he was getting too many boos. So he says that he has an announcement that he's going to be the number one contender after the Samoa Joe and Lesnar. Obviously, dude, we know you're you're always the number one contender. Joe comes out and he says that, all the people that Roman's beaten, I'm not on that list. So they start verbiaging between each other. Tic-tac, tic-tac, tic-tac. Joe has enough. Joe attacks Roman. Joe goes for the coquina clutch, and then Roman hits a Superman punch to clear Samoa Joe out of the ring. So opening segment was pretty good, tied into the main event. It wasn't the last segment, but it was the most important match of the night. So then we had Samoa Joe taking on Roman Reigns, and I liked Roman. I liked what Roman did here. You can't hate on him. He's a character. You know what I mean? He's playing the role that he's supposed to play. And if you take out Roman Reigns, who else could fill that role? That's honestly kind of why I think that's why personally that a lot of people hate Roman, because nobody else could be him. And I think that makes people mad. I really don't think it's booking. Looking across the board, who can just do overall what Roman does? Who can get that reaction? His promos are getting a lot cleaner now. So what? He plays the Hulk Hogan role. You can't kill him. Every generation of wrestling fans have had one of these people. You've had the Hulk Hogans, the John Cenas. You know what I mean? Deal with it. Then we had the Hardy Boys versus Gallows and Anderson, and I really wish that they would just... I mean, Gallows and Anderson was so hot, but now they just feel like a flame of the past, you know what I mean? Like, completely irrelevant. Like, they almost feel, like, older than the Hardy Boys. Gallows and Anderson get a little bit of offense in. They even hit a boot of doom that Matt Hardy kicks out of. And then we had the... classic Hardy Boys finish, where you have Matt Hardy hitting the Twist of Fate and Jeff Hardy hitting the Senton. I don't know, like, you need to build somebody else other than the Hardy Boys, especially if probably the plan is going to be to split them up anyways. You just keep feeding him that number one spot, like keeping him. Gallows and Anderson have been on a slide lately. They went from like being the dominant tag team to almost being jobbers, essentially. They're just the jobbers of the tag team division, and I don't know, it's just They did. The one thing that I did like about this Raw, though, is a lot of the matches got time, and that's what you need. You need. I don't want to watch like 2 hours of promos and then like 40 minutes of wrestling. You know what I mean? It's a wrestling show. I'm in it for. Of course, I want to hear the promos. Of course, I want to get into the stories and all that stuff. But it was just like Tozawa and TJP. They let those dudes run. Obviously, I'll get into it later. But you have to let it grow. Wrestling is a story. So you have to have enough time to paint the story. Nobody likes reading these Dr. Seuss books where it's just like, well, he woke up, he saved the princess, the end. You know what I mean? What kind of story is that? You have to be able to, get the players invested, get the fans invested, make us hate the heel, make us want the face to do well. Tozawa was super annoying with the over chants. Like, my girl hates that, and it was way overused tonight, but we'll get into that. So then we had Elias Sampson come out. So Elias Sampson, his shtick has been he's going to come out and ask everybody who wants to walk with Elias. And he tells everybody to hold their applause. And, he's about to sing this really crappy song about whatever town that he's in. So this one was a little bit different, though, because he never actually sang. So he started strumming his guitar. And then, so he hits like a few notes, and then he's like, oh man, sorry, my guitar sounds like crap. So when I'm watching this live, I'm just like, was this how it was supposed to be? If his guitar was like accidentally like off tune, and he just like thought of this off the cuff, I mean, it was too good of a like thing for him to just kind of be off the cuff, but it was really well done. Because I didn't want to hear him sing another song. Not that he's not an interesting character. I do like what they are doing with him, but so he's telling everybody that he needs complete silence to tune his guitar, and then Finn Balor comes out. Finn does his entrance. Finn gets into the ring. Elias Sampson walks out. And so watching this live, I'm just curious. I'm like, why is Finn Balor interrupting Elias Sampson, and why did Sampson just go away? Cut from commercial, and we had a special guest. We had Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas is back, and he's looking more and more like his brother every day. He kind of looked like a caveman wrestler. Like if a college wrestler was a caveman, that would be Bo Dallas. So you can just picture that, like, spot on. Big, brown, frizzly hair, grizzly beard. So Bo Dallas gets a little bit of offense in. It was a lot like how he was before he left. Very aggressive, a lot of harsh blows. Ultimately, Balor kind of gets enough of it, hits a sling blade, hits a vicious front missile kick on Bo into the corner, knocks him down. Coup de grace, 1, 2, 3. Bo Dallas, thanks for playing. This was just a way to introduce a couple of things into. So you had the Elias Sampson, Finn Balor thing where they kind of faced off. So, I mean, loosely based storyline there. So you could work with that, and then ultimately shows Bo Dallas coming back again, and he was also involved later on in the show. So Corey Graves, they flip back to the announcer's table, does that thing where he like hears something in his headset, and then he has to go in the back. We will find out what it is later. We'll comment on it later, but So backstage, Enzo and Cass are approaching Angle. Angle goes, "What are you guys doing?" Enzo, "You sent that tweet to Conor McGregor?" And then Cass goes, "Tweet? You're worried about a tweet right now? I mean, I'm getting killed. Enzo's getting killed. You need to get to the bottom of this." And then so Angle pretty much promises that he will get to the bottom of it by the end of the show. And he literally, just in the nick of time. Like literally at the end of the show, he got into it. I So what happens on later? A lot of people get flack for it, or a lot of people are giving flack for it rather on the Twitter and such. But I liked it. So Seth Rollins comes out and he's promoting the WWE 2K18, where he is the new frontman of the video game, and he's pretty much just saying that, like, you guys know my struggles. I had to do this, I had to do that. But we did it. This is our cover. Then Bray comes out and he just goes, well, you can play a nice role. You can say you're this, you can say you're that, but we all know who you are. So Rollins says that, well, I'm not who you think that I am, because I'm not that guy. I'm the man. Bray pretty much says, all right, well, I warned you guys, you will not take my name in vain. Kitty issues. The things we do for love. The things we do for love. The things we do for love. And so Bray, sorry to get back off track off that. 9-week-old kitty, what are you going to do? So Bray says that he warned Rollins, he warned the whole WWE, you take his name in vain, you will go down. So Bray says that he's going to come out and do his thing. So Bray does his long entrance. As he's blowing out the lantern, Seth Rollins hits a crossbody off the top rope onto Bray, stunning the eater of lots of things nowadays. And Rollins backs up the ramp in true face fashion. I love when he does this thing. He goes like up like that, and then he just goes. I don't know. That's cool. Kind of like the same thing with Balor. The things that he does. It's hard to be original when you're coming down the entrance nowadays. So anytime that you get just kind of like a little unique niche, it's always welcomed these days. So it cuts to a promo in the back. Finn Balor is being interviewed. He is asked who will prevail, Samoa Joe and Rowan, because he had many experience with them. Basically, he says that Joe is a beast, but Roman's the big dog. And then Elias Sampson attacks him, tells him to never upstage him again. So why did this happen? Because Finn Balor, not in any title contendership at the moment, and you need a big face. Samson's coming up. Samson is a heel. Samson is a good worker, so this can be a good feud. It would be cool for him to write some kind of demon song, but it's a good mix. Samson, he can extend it, and he needs a good face to elevate himself. Balor is new himself in the game, but he has a really big following, and I think that this will be a nice feud for them to do their thing while there's no real title picture available at the moment. All right, next up we had Tozawa versus TJP, and this was actually a really good match. Look what happens, WWE, when you let people wrestle. They got probably, I feel like it was at least 10 minutes to run, let the story progress. It was a very classic match. Not a lot of too much crazy cruiserweight spots. It was more of it had an old school traditional feel. A lot of holds, kind of building up the story, trying to get the people to do that annoying Tozawa chant. So before I get too ahead of ourselves, Titus came out, and as we all know, Titus is trying to recruit Tozawa into his Titus brand. Comes out and he basically Bruce buffers them, announces TJP, and then hypes up Tozawa because he's trying to sign him. So this seems to do wonders for him. Neville at one point came out, told the announcers to not fret because not here for war, he's just here to watch Tozawa. And there was a lot of little spots. There's a running scissor kick, and then outside suicide dive by Tozawa. There was a innovative gutbuster type move from TJP. Ultimately, Tozawa hits that huge senton splash from the top. So what does this do? Same thing. Gives people who are not in a cruiserweight really title match just something to do. This was a good match. They should do this more. They should feature the cruiserweights more. Honestly, it really doesn't even matter like who you match up with, because I feel like if any two superstars were given at least like 10 minutes to work, I feel I do have a special guest, Frankie. Frankie is crazy. All right, so Tozawa as like a cruiserweight champion, no. I never want to see that. But TJP, I was looking forward to TJP winning. But so Bo and Kurt are backstage. Bo's really down on himself. Kurt's like, "Come on, man, you just have to believe." He didn't actually say that, but it's pretty much what he said. Then Miz comes back and he's like, "Look at you guys. I mean, like, I'm living the high life. I got the hot wife. I got the fancy cars. I got the title belt. And you're just mucking around. I mean, remember when you guys were in the Marine? I mean, that guy was cool, and you guys are not that guy anymore." So basically he says, well, come under my wing. I will let you be the Entourage. I will let you walk around, and I will make you bigger stars than ever. Then he leaves, and then they just kind of like share like I don't know, bro, maybe we should do it look. So that plays into the later. Then we had the match of the night, Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns. And this was a great match, pay-per-view worthy. In fact, you can't really hate too much on Roman Reigns because a lot of Roman Reigns matches are good. It's not his fault he's built that way. People think that he doesn't sell. The dude's like hurt like 90% of the match. Pretty much any match that he's ever in, he's always grabbing his chest or his stomach or his leg, or I think it was his hip earlier this show. But I don't get how people say that he doesn't sell. Yeah, I get that he hulks up and sometimes he no sells a move, but for the most part, he sells most of the moves. So, I mean, I don't understand why people hate on him so much for that. I think the only thing that I really hated him for, like, consistently was his promos, and I liked his promo. It was pretty much just like, I like the "it's my yard," couple of quick like "I'm just gonna kick your ass" lines, and boom, get right into it. That is what Roman Reigns should be. And so this was a really good match. Joe tried the coquina clutch a few times. Roman Reigns hit a drive-by while Joe was standing. That was a good one. There was a kind of like inverted 180 rock bottom by Samoa Joe. So halfway through, pretty much towards like the end of the match, like they let this match run for a while, and so all of a sudden cuts to the Megatron and it shows an ambulance pulling in, and we're just like, what the hell is going on? Boom, backdoor kicks open, Braun Strowman, roar. I'm not finished with you yet, Roman. Oh man, dude, the pop, like, good for him, man. Like, I think I predicted this on the pay-per-view show that we would see Braun tonight. I thought that he was going to do it in another fashion. I don't know, like coming back in on an ambulance, kind of like, ugh. But overall, great to see him for sure. Much needed boost in the Raw division, and the look on Roman Reigns' face was just priceless, dude. Just a pure look of shock. Then obviously, while Roman is distracted, Joe, the ultimate opportunist, takes advantage, hits the coquina clutch on Roman. Rather than Roman tapping out, Roman just passes out. So Joe gets the win, but Roman was distracted, obviously, because a monster came back. And so after he is choked out, Joe leaves, and then Strowman's music hits. Strowman. Wow, Roman. Uh, Strowman rather just makes a beeline towards the ring, has a mic, says, "I'm not finished with you yet, Roman." Picks him up, does his inverted choke slam. Then he challenges him, if he is man enough, to an ambulance match at Great Balls of Fire. Just this alone will make you. It just makes the pay-per-view that much more interesting. It is great to see Strowman back. The top contender, like the top echelons, was definitely missing something with that, and you never want to see a guy in the middle of a push to get injured. So it's great to see him back. Roman did a great job. Joe did a great job. Great overall segment. Got plenty of time to develop, and I loved it. All right, so then we had Miz TV. So Miz is out with a present in the middle, has two bears hanging out there, calls out Maurice. Basically, he drops all the "I was in love with you the first time I saw you," yada yada yada, "You're perfect, we're perfect, everyone's perfect, please forgive me." So finally makes it up, and then he goes, "I have a present for you." Opens the present. It's the grandfather clock. He goes, when you were just kicking me on the couch, I was actually being productive. I Googled everything, I YouTubed it, and I built this clock right from you because you said that I'm timeless. Well, we're timeless. Like, if Miz was single, if he was dropping these at the bar, no doubt he would get laid. For sure. So Maurice finally caves in, gives him a little kiss, everything's all lovey-dovey. Motorcycle sound, and Dean Ambrose comes out. Dean Ambrose didn't actually do anything. All he did was come out. So then Miz pulls Maurice into right in front of him. Maurice has the champagne that she was drinking spill all over herself, and then so she's walking away, and as Miz is trying to get her, like, "Oh, please don't go," Miz actually ends up crushing the grandfather clock that he just spent all of that time to fix. So Maurice walks away again. So Miz will have to spend a little bit more time in the doghouse as Miz is retreating. Ambrose thinks that he's won, but the twist is that the bears were actually Bo and Kurt. So Bo and Kurt end up attacking Ambrose from behind and crushing him, and then Miz comes back in, realizes what's going on, like, all right, well, these guys are definitely down. And then he gives Ambrose a skull crushing finale. So now the trains are off, as Kurt would say it, and Bo and Kurt are now in a new squad. I think this is probably one of the best ones because you want to ride the coattails of somebody who's talented. The thing that they were doing with Heath Slater, that group was garbage. That Bo Leave crap, that's garbage. Personally, I thought that Bo would join Bray, obviously, because they're real life brothers and they kind of look alike now. Maybe it will lead to that at some point. Maybe Miz and Bray end up feuding again, and then Bo just kind of gets possessed by Bray or something along those lines. But yeah, overall, it was a good segment, and it gives Bo and Kurt, because Bo and Kurt are talented. It just kind of went away for a while. So it's good to see them back. It gives Miz kind of like a new segment to play with. So maybe Maurice can be less on TV, if she chooses to. I don't know, maybe she's working on kids or something like that. But if she was to be gone, there would still be that outside influence that Miz would have with his entourage. Cesaro and Sheamus were facing Titus and Apollo for some reason. This was really quick. Titus had a minor bit of offense, but ultimately Cesaro and Sheamus hit that white noise combination, I believe, the white noise combination off the top rope for the win. I don't know, like Apollo Crews, I'm just so done with this dude. he doesn't offer anything. I can't. It's hard to say how he can change it, because I feel like he's trying, but he's not authentic. That's really what he doesn't believe. He doesn't believe. He doesn't believe in his character. He doesn't. You have to. If you don't believe in yourself, how are we going to get into you? Being a wrestler is just like, it's an act. You know what I mean? It's a character on a movie. It's a character on your favorite show. You don't like that character, you're not going to like the show as much. He just needs to find his groove. And, it's cliche to say, like, heel turn, because everyone always, like, when everything gets boring for faces, everyone's like, oh, just turn him heel. Like, well, you can't turn, the whole division heel. He can be saved. It's just, he needs... like how this I think this was the shortest match of the night by far, and this one just needed a little time to run. Apollo needs to develop more of a grappling style. Yes, he's athletic and it's cool, but he's a really big dude, so he should be doing some powerful stuff. So in that aspect, he is lacking. But in the end, it really just gives Cesaro and Sheamus some spotlight and lets them continue their momentum and get the victory over the Titus brand. Alright, then we have Sasha versus Nia Jax. Not really going to get too much into this because it wasn't actually a match. Alexa came out to watch at some point, and somehow Emma was in there, and then all of the Raw women were battling in the middle of the ring. So no actual match occurred. It was really just a reason for all of these women to just have melee. The only thing that took out of it is Nia Jax looked really strong. She was pretty much staving off all of the women pretty much by herself, and it took all of the women to drop kick her out of the ring. So basically all this proves is that the women division has no progression, no foreseeable future. Nothing really came. There were no feuds that were built out of this match, really. It's really just kind of a cat fight for a little bit, and Nia Jax looks like a beast. So ultimately, give it to Nia, you know what I mean? There are some wrestlers who need a title, and then there's some people who can survive without it. Alexa does not need the title to be entertaining. Alexa can still be Alexa. Nia needs a little bit extra. So, what's extra? The title. You got to give it to her. So then you would transition that, maybe have her be dominant, and then you could build up a face to take down the big Nia Jax. I mean, Alexa's 5 feet. Alexa's small. Yeah, she's good on the mic and stuff, but it's much more impressive to take out somebody like Nia rather than a little short girl like Alexa. So then we had the main segment, because there was no main event. Honestly, Cesaro and Sheamus and Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews were technically the last match of the show. So Angle comes out, Cass and Enzo come out, hit him with that last segment, and so then they're like, all right, we're gonna get down to the bottom of this. Calls out Big Show, calls out Revival, and so Angle confronts Big Show. So Angle's like, I gotta ask you, bro. And Big Show's like, I can't believe it, man. Like, after all the things that we've been through, all the years you know me, this is how you gonna think of me? I don't even think I want to be on your show anymore. Leaves. Sweet. Thanks for the good times, Big Show. You should have retired 5 years ago. But, so Revival, same thing. Hey, like, we may play dirty, but this one's not on us. We're clean of this. Then Graves comes out and he goes, hey, I got some news. Hey, Cass, check this out. Check the board. So we hit the Jumbotron and it shows Cass, and he faked his attack. So Graves is like, well, what's going on with that, man? Like, you attacked yourself. And so pretty much he kind of digs at Cass, and then Cass snaps. He goes, all right, I admit it. I did it, and it felt good. And this was an epic promo. Repeat, epic promo. I mean, this was intense, and a lot of it was true, which is what a lot of the best promos are. Basically, it kind of felt like he was doing a shoot. Basically, he was saying that he's so tired that he's just all Enzo does is run his mouth, and he's just riding his coattails, and he's had to put up with his garbage for like years through NXT and WWE, and Enzo is ultimately the reason why he has not been a champion yet. So they're doing a pan back and forth thing, and so Cass is getting more angry and Enzo is getting more sad. So Cass goes, you know what, you're nothing. Like, the only reason I even liked you is because nobody liked you in the back, and I felt sorry for you. And so Enzo starts crying. So basically, Cass ends the promo with, you're nothing. Like, I'm where the money is. It's time for me to make mine. It's time for you. You're just dead weight. That's all you are. And me and you, there is no more me and you. Me and you are done. So that was the end segment of Raw. A shocking, not really shocking. It was talked about on the Twitter thing, but damn, dude. A lot of people are saying, I watched a few people's reviews, obviously because I work at night now, so I caught a few reviews this morning, and a lot of people were bitching about this, that it was too soon and whatever. No, it's not too soon, because Enzo and Cass are ultimately not a good tag team. Enzo's just too small. You need to split them up, and then Cass can do his thing, play with the big boys, and then Enzo can do his thing on 205 Live. It's good for everybody. It'll get more eyes on 205 Live. Cass can do his thing. Cass will probably end up feuding with the Big Show or something first off, or you'll see him a lot more involved. But who even knew that Cass could cut a promo like that? This was probably his best pro. I mean, I didn't really follow his career in NXT, but I'm assuming that this is probably the best promo he's ever cut. Enzo sold it really well with the tears and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward with that, but that is your end to this Raw. So what would I give this show? A lot of people are really trashing on this, and it's why. This thing was just filled with a lot of twists and turns and interesting things that happened. Not really a lot of filler stuff. Overall, I thought it was better than the average Raw show that they put out. I would give this a 6 for sure, at least, and that is good. That's great these days for Raw. So yeah, in conclusion, I thought that this was a great show. You haters need to relax. It is a show, and I thought this was good, and I'm no casual fan, so suck it. Alright, so that is going to do it for me. I'm going to upload this, shower, then get to work. Jay will be on to cut the review. He sends it to me. I do a little bit of editing, throw the intro and outro on, and then I will upload it when I get home. So the SmackDown review will be up sometime early Wednesday morning. I did not do a Hot Spots and Total Flops last week because I've kind of been doing a lot of things. I'm working on a cartoon. That's going to be my next venture. Because honestly, wrestling reviews kind of get boring sometimes. It's hard to hype yourself up for a lot of bad content, but actually this show is really good. I enjoyed it, and that's why, if you're a fan, you can always find something that you like. There's really no use in hating on a lot of stuff. They do have 3 hours to fill. Writing a 3-hour show week in and week out is tough, dude. I mean, you just try to do it. Just stop watching this and then just write down like an episode, including all the Raw roster for 3 hours. Go for it. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not as easy as it looks. So obviously there will be filler stuff, but it's a show. You know what I mean? Comes with the territory. So that is going to wrap it up for me. I probably will do a Hot Spots and Total Flops. I realize I haven't done any live streams recently. We should have done one on Saturday when we were playing Cards Against Humanity. That was a good segment, but I'll get back into that. Like I said, currently into developing the cartoon, so that is my new venture. So be sure to tell me what you think in the box below, man. Drop it down there. I like it down there. So let me know what you think. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and until next time, you crazy kids, see ya.